Welcome back to another Soda Popcast, and tonight we are going to talk about F1, the new Brad Pitt movie. But first, I just want to let you know that we had technical difficulties. I know some of you probably were wondering what happened to the 28 days later episode, 28 years later episode. We'll have some great insight into that movie. You probably have all seen it by now, if you wanted to see it. So I apologize, there was technical difficulties with the card, getting it off of there, but I did upload it yesterday, which would have been Sunday. So you can watch that one now. And if you do, like, follow, share, subscribe, help us out. And sorry we blew it on that one.
A little tidbit, just to add, because we didn't know this. The Power Rangers as seen at the end in 28 years later, that guy, Jimmy, is based on a real person that was a British TV icon, Jimmy Swivel.
Shut up.
I'm being serious. And it turns out he got all these awards, everybody loved him. He was a child predator. And so they
based it on him?
It's supposed to be him. I don't think it's based on him. I think it's supposed to be him setting up 28 years later to the Bone Temple, which comes out 28 weeks from now.
I'm just making stuff up.
I'm being so serious.
Which is a good segue into this next thing we're about to talk about.
But yeah, so that kid's in trouble.
So wait a minute.
What's being put on the film there, that kid's in trouble. But we as the American population did not know who Jimmy Swivel was.
Was he a Netflix special?
Yes, there was a Netflix special about him.
He was a TV guy.
He did a TV,
a whole big. He was
a personality.
Yes, he was a personality.
A TV personality, but he was a child predator at the end of the day. He got a bunch of awards too. The British people
for child predatoring?
No, for his TV career. The British people loved him.
I did see the Netflix thing on that, but I didn't know. So they're blurring the lines between reality. So apparently in this universe, there's a zombie invasion.
So Jimmy Swivel never comes to prominence in the TV realm because there's no TV there.
Obviously, because he was a little kid at the beginning of that.
Yeah.
That's really what they said?
They're going, yeah.
Or you just know when you're made up theories?
No, this is a thing.
That's bizarre. Why would they do that? So that kid's in trouble.
Yeah.
Not only are zombies out to get you in the new world,
but so is Jimmy Swivel.
Child predators still making a strong showing in the future of zombie. Yeah. All right, let's move on. But it is a good segue into last 2 episodes ago when we did our Predator. There had to be somebody in the room. I thought for sure there was somebody in the room on this one that said, no, we're not doing that.
Which is strange because this is one of the times it would have worked out well.
It would have worked out well. And I will say this. The reason he said that it would be, go ahead, give me your theory.
This is what I said. Brad Pitt, yes. Tom Cruise, yes. The director of this movie directed Top Gun Maverick.
Yes.
The stars are aligned for the return of Tom Cruise's famous Days of Thunder character, Cole Trickle.
Cole Trickle, yes. And Days of Thunder, great movie. Good movie. And we could talk about the comparisons.
There's been word that Days of Thunder 2... been word that Days of Thunder 2 is happening or something.
I never heard that word.
And so I was like, wow, I think what's going to happen is F1 is the secret sequel to Days of Thunder. And they're going to set it up at the end that Brad Pitt's character and Cole Trickle, they're going to race. In what would be F1 Thunder, a sequel to both of them, Fit for short. Was my
Which obviously I laughed at the absurdity of that idea.
A brilliant idea, one of the few times somebody could have spoken up in the room.
Obviously I laughed at the absurdity of that idea, but I'll tell you this, after seeing this movie, because I thought there's just no way those two could cross over, totally different worlds of racing,
which doesn't even make sense.
Yes, you can't just go from racing a NASCAR to a Formula car, but
the unexplored adventures of Cole Trickle got him there.
Yes, but the way they made this movie, it does lend itself to the possibility of something like that happening.
And funny enough...
so yes.
Yesterday, the director of this movie...
I am scrolling through Instagram, as one does, and this showed up. I'm sure you can see that. You can zoom in.
You can't even see that.
They can see
There's a glare.
No,
read it
now
to
there's not a
Read it to the people.
I'm reading it to the people. It's a picture of Brad Pitt and
Cole Trickle.
Cole Trickle. Joseph Kaczynski says his pitch to reunite Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt would be a Days of Thunder and F1 crossover sequel. So apparently, Joseph, he has said that. You can't believe everything you read on the internet.
Oh, he said it all right. He said it after
and
hearing
people
it
are giving it thumbs up, and
people are loving that idea.
people are loving it. Oh, and then you got they got some.
Oh, that would be something. That would be electric.
Shut up
ladies
and take
gentlemen.
my money. Now this is going to be interesting. Yeah, it would be cool. Because who doesn't like Tom Cruise and
Brad
Pitt?
Yeah, like one
together.
Of them. Yeah, like one of them at least.
Yeah, you got like one of them. So anyway, so that's that. So we are here to talk about that movie F1, the Brad Pitt movie.
Maybe they team up against Will Ferrell from Pelican to Nights.
I'm gonna say that's absurd. I'm gonna say that
would be
no,
crazy.
that can't happen.
All right, but we're talking about F1. We just got out of the theater from seeing it.
And it was a good show. I was highly entertained.
I was very entertained.
So,
also, it's probably important for the people to know. Have you ever watched an F1 race?
I have not.
Neither have
I've
I.
never watched a NASCAR race.
Neither have I.
I've passed through it, surfing the channels once in a while.
So we this might be all wrong, what we saw. Very well could be.
For all we know,
Yeah.
they don't even go that way. They go the other way around the track for all I know.
What was the basic story?
The basic story is your basic drag the guy sort of out of retirement. He's not retired, however. He's got a buddy that's in the Formula racing world. He's got a racing team, and they were buddies back in their day, younger days.
Their heyday.
How do you say that guy's name?
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem. He does a great job. I've only released, I probably have seen him in other stuff. I saw him in No Country for Old Men.
Dune.
Totally looks...
Dune 2.
Oh, I didn't know he was in that.
Stilgar. The old guy where he's like, oh, the Mahdi. Like he's like...
I did not know that.
He's like the guy that's hyping Paul up the whole time.
Oh, cool. So that guy has a racing team. He was friends with Brad Pitt back in the day. Kind of drags him out of whatever he's doing, which is racing, all kinds of other things, but not Formula One because he had a terrible accident back in the day when he was up and coming golden child of racing.
Yeah, with the mullet he had. That
I don't know if that's real pictures of him or what.
The one where he gets in is like totally him now with like a wig on. Where like it was like footage of him getting in. I think so.
Yeah,
which is
pretty
fine.
funny. It's pretty funny. So they team up, and then you have the typical clash between Brad Pitt's the old timer and you got this young rookie racer, and they're on the same team. I think that played out well, and then they got to overcome all odds and save the day and win the race.
Yeah, or
That's
everybody loses their job.
Or
On this
everybody
team.
lose their job because they're going to sell out.
Yeah.
Because they're losers. They're scrubs. But I think it all worked well.
Yeah.
I think
Wait, for the characters?
worked out well for the characters, but I think the story, obviously that story's been done.
Yeah,
this
this guy
times.
did it with Top Gun Maverick. With
Yeah, that's kind of the same
Tom
story.
Cruise
You
and
drag the
Miles
guy out of
Teller.
retirement,
there's that one
helps
guy.
the rookies.
Yeah.
They all got to do the mission in the end. Yeah, it's the same story.
Just with race cars
Different
this
beats,
time
just
instead of
different-
jets.
But it's done well. Because a lot of times you see those and you're like, okay, I've seen this. And okay, we're just doing the same thing. But I think it works well.
Yeah.
A lot of good. I think the characters work well together. I think there's good chemistry with them. I tell you what else I really noticed right off the bat was the soundtrack.
Oh, it was very like NASCAR. I was hoping a little bit more that 2000s NASCAR. You remember that NASCAR game we had?
It's a different game, man. Yeah, that's
I want
because
that
it's
song
NASCAR.
on there.
That's because it's NASCAR.
Still gonna
That's
use
like-
that.
it's
I could
like-
use a little bit more of that.
Yeah, well, NASCAR is American, south of the United States,
America.
not South America, south of the United States, southern U.S. F1 is like across the world. It's not even like really an American thing. So we do not get Kid Rock.
What is that song?
It's Kid Rock.
You know what
I don't
I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I'm doing it pretty well.
No, you're not doing well.
Yeah,
at all.
they could probably hire me to
Maybe
do
I'm
that.
thinking of a different one. Then.
That's
Not it. I know which one you're talking about. Okay, so the sound, but they do have a lot of good, like popular music, rock and roll.
Yeah, right at the beginning was when they had the more NASCAR music, because he walks right
It's
out.
not NASCAR.
Well, what is he doing at the beginning?
Maybe it is. I don't know.
That was
Maybe
like
NASCAR music.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like at the beginning,
Yeah,
he had a
it's
little bit
more
different.
rock and roll.
Yeah.
But then throughout the movie, though, it's Hans Zimmer. I saw was the composer.
So
I thought it was cool.
Your ears were in for a treat.
Yeah.
You see that name pop up on screen.
Yeah, you know
Close
it.
your eyes and just enjoy.
I thought was cool that one part where they're racing and it's kind of like the clock again, just like Interstellar, sort of.
I didn't even notice that.
I
I think I was too
Into
too
the
wound
racing.
up in the racing. Wait, at the very end when it was like,
don't know. One of them.
what are we doing?
I don't know. I just saw it once, you know. Let me go through again and pick up on some of these things. You know what I thought was cool was the first time Brad Pitt shows up to the race team, and he's kind of cocky, as I'm sure you would be too if you were Brad Pitt.
in any scenario.
Genre, in any scenario, yes. But you think he's going to show up, and they're doing a practice race to see if he can be as fast as the rookie, and you think he's going to tear it up.
Yeah.
He kind of wrecks. He actually does. The wreck takes him across the finish line, but he wrecks, and it's kind of a failure.
Yeah.
So he kind of...
They give the credit to the rookie guy. They give him he's not a pushover. He's not completely unaware of what's going on. And they balance out Brad Pitt as well to be like, he isn't just some guy that can just do it automatically and be first no matter what. Contrary to Tom Cruise and Top Gun. All those guys were cocky scrubs, but they couldn't make it through the course. Tom Cruise, Pete Mitchell, Maverick. He ran that course and did it under time. You know what I'm talking about? You remember that?
That's because he's badass, man.
That's what I'm saying, though. They balance it more, I think.
Yeah.
That gap is way more balanced. And I think that makes for a lot... The drama between them, it actually makes sense.
Speaking of that for a second, I want to go way off topic. I want to go way, way, way off topic. So they bombed Iran the other day. I told you, I'm going way off topic. You brought up Top Gun, though. You thought Top Gun was just like the Death Star run in Star Wars 4, New Hope. The trench run, yes, because they had to shoot and get this missile down the shaft, right?
Yeah.
Just like...
The uranium deposit.
Just like Star Wars. And you're always like, oh, you're shooting down the shaft. I mean, I thought that was... Whatever, I thought it was science fiction. But in Top Gun, they did it. And I'm like, they're just trying to be like Star Wars. They got to shoot down the shaft. But it turns out that that's what they did on this Iran mission. There's like an air shaft, and they shoot down the air shaft. Because that's like the only way to get in there. And the Iranians, I guess, tried to cover it up with concrete and everything because they knew something was coming. But these guys shoot a missile down the air shaft to loosen things up. Then they shoot the giant bomb down the air shaft. They're hitting an air shaft. I thought that was kind of like made up. And I think
the made up part was that Rooster did it without the laser guys.
Force. Did it only with the Force?
Yeah, because remember he's like, I don't have the laser.
Yeah.
Like these guys, not to discredit the amazing work that the U.S. military has done and the fighter pilots that carry it out.
So yeah, way off topic, but since you brought up Top Gun, I thought it was pretty crazy. They actually shoot down the air shaft.
Gotta get in there.
I thought that was just a trope from Star Wars.
It might have been back then.
Yeah, maybe.
But now everybody's like, what if we do it?
Hey, maybe that's where they got the idea.
Yeah. What if we have just a little air shaft?
Can't leave them air shafts open. You gotta go down. From now on, I guess if you're gonna build an underground base, everybody's gotta go down with air tanks.
Yeah.
We're having no shafts.
Can't have anything.
Everybody's gotta walk around with an
Can't have anything in Iran, I guess.
Yeah, can't have anything nice. All right, so anyway, back to...
Formula One.
So the gap between the rookies and the expert in Formula One
is smaller, and I think that adds to the drama because you're like, you're not necessarily.
Yeah, he's
perfect.
Not Superman or whatever. Although I think they did both characters well. They weren't just.
Yeah, one wasn't riding off the other.
Yeah.
But they did. I did like that Brad Pitt was a little more selfless, and that he.
Yeah, I think
he was he was finding creative ways to get the other guy to win. What's his name? The other, his buddy.
JP.
Yeah, JP.
JP, he didn't like that nickname, but his nickname. Pierce was his last name. I don't know what his first name was. But I thought as a sports movie that worked well too, because he came in, and really I don't know why the other guy was so mad at him. Probably just because he was number one and Brad
JP
Pitt
was mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
Because I don't think Brad Pitt ever was really like...
mean to him.
Yeah. I mean, he was cocky.
But
not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Because even from the get-go, he was kind of giving him...
JP was immediately giving him slack. For no reason.
So, but then JP was like upset with him as if he had done something. But I don't think he really... I think from a sports movie angle, with Brad Pitt was a good mentor.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He had
and he was like I said, he was sacrificing his position to get JP. I mean, it was by extension the team, but he probably could have done it on his own.
He was taking a lot of lumps at the beginning.
Yeah. Throughout the first races.
Yeah.
He was doing everything he could to get JP to win for the team.
Right.
Where he could have won for the team himself.
Yeah. So I think that was cool in regards to that. So, I don't know.
I think it was good.
I think it might be good to, if you have a chance to see it on
a big screen.
On IMAX.
Or if somehow you can get a hold of one of those racing arcade rigs and watch it on that TV and be sitting in there with the wheel.
You know what was cool was they were showing how they practice, and they have like a 360-degree screen that you're down screen. Like, it's not like you're right in it like this. It was like a big giant room, so they could see behind them.
Yeah, and everything, and then it had all the metrics and whatnot.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So we'll open up to spoilers now.
Yeah, I mean, there's
a little more free talk.
Okay, yeah. So you got the gist of the basic story.
Yeah, and we both say it was good.
It's good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
So spoilers now.
Brad Pitt wins in the end.
Yeah.
There's your spoiler.
Well, I want to talk about when this kid messes up, the big accident, and then...
I don't think they did enough to clear Brad Pitt's name on that.
In the public eye, yeah.
Well, even that kid.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why he was still mad. So what happens is there's a big race. They're about to win. It's in the rain. Brad Pitt is once more sacrificing his position to get the kid ahead. They perform the legendary shake and bake slingshot maneuver created by Will Ferrell in Talladega.
Yes, basically stolen from Will Ferrell.
I don't know how they didn't get a copyright for that. But so he slingshots around and Brad Pitt is on the mic. I also don't know why they don't have a mic directly to each other.
That was weird. It must be a rule. Like the drivers couldn't talk. Seemed like the drivers could not talk to each other. I'm gonna tell you something else. Hold that thought about this microphone situation. Brad Pitt and the other driver couldn't talk, but they both could talk to the pit. So Brad Pitt would have to talk to the pit, then they would say to that guy.
Yeah.
So go ahead, finish that thought.
So Brad Pitt's telling the pit to tell the other driver, okay, you gotta wait for this turn and make your break after you clear the turn. And they tell him that, and this kid is like, he's cocky, whatever. He doesn't do that. He tries to make the break on the turn, rain or whatever. Goes flying.
Disaster
goes completely
happens.
flying.
Yeah, completely flying.
It looked Car's on fire.
Yeah. It looked like he got ejected though. When you watch the movie, I thought he got thrown out.
I did not.
I saw I saw something go flying.
I thought we were going to see a burn victim, like a dead burn body.
Apparently he just burned his hands, whichever that was, All right, so anyway, back to that.
So it seems like everybody starts blaming Brad Pitt. I don't even know how he got blamed for it.
I don't know how he got blamed for it either.
Yeah, that was very confusing, and they never clear it up. And then this kid comes
because they
back.
should be yelling at the kid. Like, all the race people knew that Brad Pitt was saying wait. So they should have been like, dude, why don't you just wait? We told you to wait. Brad Pitt told you to wait. We told you to wait. You did it on your own. Look what happened.
Yeah, Brad Pitt did the slingshot for you and everything.
Trying to help you out, man.
Yeah. And you're like, everybody in the pit heard they have like screens inside the actual, what is that? The pit?
Inside the cockpit.
Well, yeah, so everybody on the Apex team, not even just the people in the pit, I'm assuming like everybody on this team heard it.
Yeah.
And no one is like stepping up for Brad Pitt. Like there's like a scene after where he has to deal with the press, and he's getting hassled by them. No one's going, no, it was the kid's fault. He should have waited.
He should have waited. He's gonna be all right. He should have waited. We wanted him to wait. We told him to wait. Took it on his own.
He saw an opening. He took the risk.
Took the risk.
But then he comes back and he's angry at Brad Pitt, which I don't understand. Because on top of Brad Pitt telling him, "Don't do that," Brad Pitt runs into this burning car.
Yeah, saves his life. That's what I thought. Yeah, the mom kind of confronted Brad.
Yeah, the mom starts yelling at him.
I thought she was going to be like, "You said you were a jerk," and I was like, "Oh," but she's about to say. But you pulled him. You were the first one on the scene and pulled him out of the car.
Out of the burning car.
Out of the burning car.
Yeah, and then his mom starts giving Brad Pitt slack. And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, that was the only weird thing I thought.
But the kid getting mad at him, the kid then, like, hits Sonny's car, Brad Pitt's car, causing Sonny to wipe out. That could have been like a fatal accident. These things are going at like 200 miles per hour. And he hits him, and obviously for the movie, nothing happens. He just kind of burns out. But then the kid like hits him. I'm like, what is going on? It made me wish the kid burned in that car, to be honest. I was like, oh, he should have burned alive.
Yeah, that is the only thing. They just tried to make them two opposing each other.
Yeah.
When really both their actions never really, I think,
demonstrate any sort of they're trying to go after each other.
Yeah.
There was one Brad Pitt at the beginning where he wouldn't let him pass.
But he said, dude,
you gotta learn how to race.
You gotta learn how to race, and it's nobody pass. But he said it as a team aspect too, because he goes, nobody passes us. Everybody thinks we're a joke. Nobody passes us.
Yeah.
So he's saying it in a team sort of way.
And he totally was him just teaching him.
Yeah, because they both were last place, because they were last and next to last.
Yeah.
So Brad Pitt's like,
whatever.
What's who gives a crap?
Yeah.
It's a difference.
Yeah, the kid, he kind of was getting on my nerves. There was a lot in there where I was like, I don't know, he doesn't need to be
That's
mad
what I mean.
at
I
him.
think you think you have to play up that animosity when maybe you don't have to. There doesn't have to be a conflict as much as you think.
Yeah, like after he crashes, who cares?
Yeah.
I thought that would have been.
They could have just went all in on team aspect, which they did finally at the end.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the other part about the microphones. So apparently before the races, they have a big team meeting. And by a big team meeting, I mean like 12 dudes sitting around a table.
Yeah.
They're wearing headsets and talking into the microphone to each other. They're in a room this size. I didn't understand that at all.
Maybe there's noise going on. Because I think they're like right on the racetrack. So maybe like people are warming up and flying by.
I didn't get that feeling from the movie.
Oh, I don't know.
We're gonna have a meeting.
Again, we've never watched an F1 race. So
maybe, I don't know, man. So
maybe it's mandatory for some reason.
I'm sure it's accurate. I just didn't understand it. So maybe that is why they're at the track and probably somebody's warming up.
Yeah.
I'll buy that.
Yeah. They do a really good job with distinguishing, though, at the beginning, the difference between Brad Pitt and being an actual leader and being an actual part of the team, and then showing that the kid is JP's a little bit on the outskirts, a little bit selfish. Like there's this girl who messes up. Yeah. Obviously that's a huge deal.
In the pit, she screws up.
And JP doesn't know her name even. He's just yelling at her. And then Brad Pitt immediately comes in, knows her name, says don't even worry about it, whatever. Yeah. He's going on runs with them in the morning. I like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think as a sports movie, they showed him as a good leader and a good mentor. That's why I don't know why the kid. The kid could be a little jealous. Like, oh man, but he was learning. Yeah, so he was learning that's how you be a team player. That's how you be a teammate. That's how you be a leader. I just think that they could have not done the animosity. Yeah, they didn't need to. They could have had it more of a buddy film.
Yeah, because I did like when they were teaming up at the end.
Yeah, towards the end they got it.
And those little moments, though, is what would have worked too. Is they both want to be first, so no one's making the first move to get the opening to get first. Like right at the end,
right? Because first the guy that goes first
gets cut off,
and then the other guy goes around him. Yeah. So it's good as a sports. I think it worked as a sports movie. I don't know, as a racing movie, you just watched Days of Thunder. How do you think it compares
This
to
was
that?
way better.
It was way better?
Oh yeah. This is like, you just feel it more. I mean, this was like intense. I
More
was in the
modern.
sea. I was exhilarated. My heart was hammering. I was like, wow, what is it? You know what I mean?
It's
Like
good,
you
it's good,
feel
it's
it. You
good.
feel it. The
That's-
camera is really on the cockpit in there. Granted, they're probably not going anywhere near the speed.
You know, you could just speed up the film, though.
That's what I mean. And so it feels
If
like
you
they
go
are.
100, you can speed up the film to make it 120.
I really think the cinematography worked well. There's a lot of
It's a lot of cool stuff.
right up in the cars. I mean, sometimes it's trailing them, sometimes it's in front of them. There's the cockpit one that always swings around.
Yeah.
That was cool. At the beginning, though,
At
right
the
at the beginning, I was like, "Whoa, this is like
They're just-
not.
They
This
just
is
went
not
off the hinges,
real."
though. Yeah, they just went a little crazy.
Right away, too, I really liked the vibe of it, though. He wakes up, walks out of his van,
Yeah.
and he goes right into a car. I don't really know. Where they,
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
kind of know what's going on. I think they're supposed to
Well-
be racing 24 hours, so they're on different shifts.
Yeah, it was, Daytona 24-hour race.
So he had the midnight shift.
Hit midnight shit.
And there's like fireworks going off, and
Yeah,
they're shooting out they're shooting out onto the track. At one point, like fireworks hit the
It's
front of
totally
his car,
ridiculous.
and then a helicopter comes flying in.
Like 10 feet over the cars.
And me and you looked at each other. We were like, "What's going on?" When the helicopter comes, because you hear it too, it sounds like it's like the noise they use in the Vietnam War films when the helicopter flies over them. It goes.
Yeah,
right
while there's fireworks.
Fireworks going
and
on.
Fireworks are blowing onto the track. It's
People
totally,
are running into each other. It was like Mario Kart. It wasn't.
It
even-
was. I was like, what is this movie headed? What are we
It's
doing
gonna be
here?
out of control once they get to F1, but it
But then-
tamed itself down.
Yeah, that was almost like a dream sequence.
It was the graveyard shift in that Daytona 24
You
hours.
don't want to get involved with that.
You gotta be legit. You gotta be willing to die for that because there's just no way.
Yeah, that was funny. That was good.
It's just out of control.
So when was Days of Thunder? Do you know? What was that about?
1980 something. It was about Cold Trickle
Oh,
going
that
to.
was the 90s.
I don't think so. That was like a very young Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but it was 90s. That wasn't no 80s Tom Cruise. Let me just check this out for you. We're auditioning people for this job. 1990. So, yeah, right in the middle.
Right there.
I liked that movie when it came out. I don't remember it well enough to compare directly.
Yeah, I mean that's just a product of its time though. Like
Yeah.
this one obviously they can have the camera for however they do it. The quality obviously is better, but they can have it right up on the car. Like back then it felt like a lot of we just have to hold it out here. Or it's clearly Tom Cruise in the cockpit. He still was young, still wanted to live, still wanted to see
Yeah, there
stuff.
was.
You
Wait,
throw him into a race car now.
who knows what might happen?
Get the cameras rolling.
be like-
He's gonna be
It'd
flying.
be like Evil Knievel on Snake Canyon. Yeah, just give me a cliff.
Yeah. I mean that'd be out of control.
Put a
But-
parachute on this thing.
Yeah, back then they just did the old fashioned put them in a rig,
Yeah.
mechanical rig.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think as well like the love interest in that Days of Thunder. That's what. I mean,
Oh,
that's-
that
yeah,
was
whatever.
Nicole Kidman. That's why that was. That's
Yeah.
probably when they first started dating or something.
Yeah,
so
so
that
like,
was
oh,
like,
let's get her in
"Ooh,
here."
get
This
her
one I
started.
think it worked better.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I think all the characters.
They all get their moment too.
Yeah.
Like the mechanic, the principal guy who's always yelling at Sonny. He gets down and dirty during the 10-minute pause to the race. Again,
Don't know
never
anything
seen
about
it,
that.
but apparently there was like a penalty maybe that they had to review, so everybody had to stop for 10 minutes. Literally 10 minutes, not in film, but the
Yeah.
rule was 10 minutes. So everybody like they rebuilt their
Yeah.
cars.
So the old timer, pit
Mechanic,
chief,
yeah.
mechanic, he got on there and got his hands dirty. The girl that screwed up, she's in there a little bit here and there throughout the whole thing. It's a good character.
Yeah, she was a nice little like.
And then the lady,
Side.
yeah, the lady, I don't know, what was she, aerodynamics, car designer or
Yeah,
something?
wind was her job apparently.
Wind
That's
was
what she
her job.
said.
That's what she said, yeah. So they started out at odds, but she came around, which makes sense. And then
Yeah.
she comes around in the end, and they get together, whatever. And then Javier,
Have you ever heard of
what was his name in the movie?
Ruben?
Ruben.
Ruben
He has
gets
a lot
his
of
win.
good moments.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good character. So,
I like the ending too. I was like, oh, I really wanted Brad Pitt to win. like to win it all.
Yeah, and it
seemed
seemed like they were going to let the other guy do it.
Yeah, and then they have a freak accident. I thought maybe he was going to slow down the second place guy.
That's what I thought too. Yeah, because JP, it boils somehow down. It gets down to the end, and it's Brad Pitt, JP, and some other car. 1, 2, 3. Well, the other car is winning first place, and then Brad Pitt and JP are going back and forth. JP gets out in front, and I kind of thought too he was going to be like
just
slow down, slow the other guy down, so Brad Pitt can go.
But yeah, it just ends up accident or whatever. They both spin out.
Yeah, the second place guy then tries hard to pass, and they end up bumping, and they both wipe out, and that gives Brad Pitt a free way to get through there.
I don't really like their cars. I think they should have been a brighter color to really distinguish them. They were like black and gold, and I felt
I
like
don't know. That's the only thing you couldn't. It was hard to tell. You had to really like look to see who was who because they're both racing for the same team.
Yeah, and their car. Like I wish Sonny seemed like if he was like a white car and then the other guy was gold.
Yeah, something.
Or even just like brighter colors, like Tom Cruise's car is the mellow yellow. It's like bright green and yellow and red. It's hard to miss in that finale.
But the problem is just that they're both the same car, so you don't know who's who.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I would have preferred a little more distinct.
Somehow, yeah. I mean, the helmet was the only way you could tell.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was good backstory for the characters too. Tom Cruise had good backstory,
right.
So yeah, we were talking about like I didn't think it would make sense for a Days of Thunder, but apparently
I always knew it would make sense. I always knew it. And then at the end, mind you, the big final race. Oh, one more thing about the big final race. I wish they would have had like a villain cockpit point of view when he was in front and just went all out on his helmet.
What do you mean?
Like it make him like a villainous helmet. Like if it was like black and then he had like red instead, you know what I mean? Like a weird, what was this? The Speed Racer driver, 8 Secret 8?
Yeah, something.
Like where he was like a villain, you know, he just had the all black helmet, completely blacked out. I think that would have really enhanced.
Yeah, they really didn't go.
Which is fun.
They were basically faceless other drivers. You didn't really get into their characters at all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Or if it was like the Red Bull driver at the finale, he had horns coming out of his helmet. Like something crazy just for the final guy. Because it would have been like the cockpit, you could see their cars flying behind them.
Yeah, a
little something.
The only time they really went into the other teams was they had an interview with the chief mechanic or whoever that was from each team, and they had
Ferrari,
Apex team, and then Ferrari, and whoever the other one was the two leaders, and this guy, and they both kind of cracked on.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Which was
you could have had a Red Bull villain with the horns coming out of his helmet.
Yeah, somebody
make him
being
memorable
a jerk the whole time.
Doesn't even have to be a jerk. I think just the silent. You know, he's just like strictly there just to ruin their day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that. You don't even take time to develop him. Just has a cool helmet. He's riding Red Bull. And he's always in first. You know, he goes like, oh, he's always first. We gotta beat him somehow. That guy. But it ends, mind you, exhilarating final race. Sonny leaves to go pursue his dreams of
racing in the Baja, which is where he got picked up. He was on his way to go race in the Baja, wherever that is, by Ruben. Ruben caught him before he left to go race at the Baja. So at the end,
he's driving, like the music's swelling. Okay, he's driving over these sand dunes, the ocean, and it really, like I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening here. He pulls up. Oh, dude, I thought for sure we were going to see a mellow yellow car. Or even like just Tom Cruise kind of turn around and go, who are you? And, you know, one of those, who's this guy?
This is why it could have worked. I thought, you know, he's in the world of F1, NASCAR, never crossed. But Sonny started out as a F1 driver, had a terrible accident, of course, as you do in these movies. Never went back to F1, but continued. He got sidetracked in some other stuff, and then he started racing again, and he basically just races anything, anywhere.
He's like a bounty hunter, but for racing.
Yeah, he's like a mercenary for racing. So it started out with NASCAR. That was that opening scene we talked about, and then they showed he was going to go down and race Baja somewhere.
Dune buggies or whatever those are.
So then Ruben drags him out of F1 retirement. And
And
you
then
have
he
your
go,
movie.
yeah, goes, wins, then he's back. Oh, dude, I really thought Coach Trickle was gonna show up. I was so excited. I really, like, genuinely, it was a perfect spot for Tom Cruise.
It would have been.
too.
It would have been. It would have been.
It would have been
I'll
perfect.
admit it now.
Like, just Tom Cruise with that full head of hair, turning around, ripping some glasses off.
What's the next thing Tom Cruise?
Who the
gonna
hell
do?
is this guy?
Why would he say that?
Because he'd be like another old timer out to race in the, what is it, the Baja Blast? Who the hell is this guy?
Oh, so they're both going to be racers in the Baja Blast.
They just start racing each other. They start to come across each other all the time in these little side races until some
was
big
an
race.
F1 champion for a race, and maybe days of where did Cole Trickle leave off?
One Daytona.
One Daytona,
One the big Daytona.
one F1 race, and now they're both at the illegal Baja race.
There was some like shots I noticed as well in this movie. I was like, wow, that's like from Days of Thunder. Brad Pitt's in a laundromat. Tom Cruise was in a laundromat
Oh, really?
in Days of Thunder. Yeah. When they first hook up, Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt and the girl in this movie, when they first hook up, the girl like shoves him against the wall and makes out with him. Same how it happened in
man.
Days of Thunder. Nicole Kidman grabbed him and shoved him against the wall.
Well, you know, I mean, if you got something that works,
Yeah, I guess. There was
Let's
a
just
few
take it easy.
other ones where like they want like the big win. There was a few other shots where like running and whatnot. I was like, it's very Days of Thunder-esque.
you probably
And then I was like,
homework.
I think I know where this is
What
going.
other good racing movies are there?
Talladega Nights. What is that one called?
What is it? Talladega Nights.
Talladega
I
Nights.
think that's what it was. The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, that's the only other one. Those are
I don't
the
know if
big
that
three.
was good.
That's
the big three.
That's the big racing trilogy.
I mean, way back there was like a Le Mans movie with. Can't think of his name now. He was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He was the guy, Steve McQueen.
Speaking of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Let's speak of it.
there's a scene in there after the kid bumps Brad Pitt
Oh,
and knocks him out of the race, and Brad Pitt goes, "I will knock your teeth out," and I was like, "Whoa!" That's what he said in Once Upon a Time.
he says it the same way too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
With that Brad Pitt.
I will knock your teeth out. That's what he says
Yeah.
to that hippie when he's got him.
When he's got the car.
It's a good line. I've used
That
it
must
myself.
be his,
It's his new signature line.
Yeah.
I will knock your teeth out.
knock your teeth out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. What were we talking about before that?
Once Upon a Time with Steve McQueen.
Yeah, so was Steve McQueen. I think it was Le Mans. I could be wrong
Oh.
on that. I never saw it.
Ford v Ferrari. I've never seen it, but that's like a racing movie with Christian Bale and somebody else famous is in that
Was
one.
it Leonardo DiCaprio?
No.
It's another big star though.
Yeah.
I saw that one. I think
It's
there was
like-
another racing movie. If it wasn't that one, kind of the same time, same setup.
Who knows?
Who knows?
But yeah, I think I like this one maybe more than you, based on what we're seeing here. What would you rate it?
I liked it as a sports movie. I think there's a lot of good sports stuff in there.
I
always
think
forget-
all the races really work well. I think every time I was like, dang, this is filmed well. It's not getting old.
No, yeah,
They
for
always
sure.
are. They're throwing some different shots here and there. There's one I really liked. It was like bird's eye view, and it's just like a little curve. It's like a little bit of green here. There's like a little sand there.
Yeah,
Nice little scenic shot.
it's good. So you're saying we're rating it right now?
I would rate it right now. I'll give it an 8. Maybe 8.5. Would have been an easy
8.5.
9 if Cole Trickle showed up at the end. The hype would have been unbelievable.
I give it an
Endgame
8.
level. Endgame level of Cole Trickle.
Trickle.
Who the hell are you? Could you imagine the applause?
I just
The
don't know
theater
why
went
you say,
crazy.
who the hell are you?
Because
I don't see Tom Cruise saying that. I don't know.
Just imagine him ripping off the glass. Because you're not thinking of Cole Trickle like I am.
That seems more William Shatner ripping off the glass.
He'd be like this. Who the hell are you? Go ahead, give it a try.
I'm not doing it.
Who the hell are you?
What is that, from a movie?
No, that's
Is it
what
from
Cole,
Tropic Thunder or something?
Cole. Tom Cruise is in that movie.
I know. Where you're ripping off the glasses. Where is that from?
That's just
Who
a
the hell are
classic.
you? I feel
That's
like
a classic
I feel
90s
like that's actually
movie.
happened. Yeah, exactly. A
Like
classic
Arnold
night.
Schwarzenegger probably did that in Terminator.
who the hell are you?
He wouldn't say who the hell.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think Tom Cruise would say it. I don't think Cole Trickle would say it.
Cole Trickle would say that.
I don't know.
What would Cole Trickle say?
All right, so the movie bro rating for me, I give it an 8, solid 8. What's it getting on Letterboxd?
3.8 out of 5.
So you got to multiply that by 20.
What are you talking
Out of
about?
100.
We are rating it out of 10.
Out of 10, so you got to multiply it by 2. They're giving it a 7.6.
Yeah.
Basically
So we're
an
in
8.
favor of it.
Basically an 8.
We're in favor
I'm
of
in
it.
favor of it. If you get a chance
Yeah.
to see it on IMAX, I would see it. Definitely go see it at the theater because it is.
Oh, it's worth it.
You know.
And all those shots, they fill up the screen. All those race car shots, they're definitely worth seeing it on the big one.
Yeah.
So what would this be?
What do you mean? What would it be?
We have Thunderbolts, Mission Impossible, 28 years, and now this Jurassic Park later this week.
Later this week. So we gotta go Thursday again. Today's
Wednesday.
Sunday.
Comes out Wednesday.
Ah,
Big
God.
Wednesday reveal. I think we should go to the midnight showing on
I
Tuesday.
can't do
They brought that
midnight showings
back.
on Tuesday.
Yeah, they brought it back.
Why are they doing it on Wednesday?
Because I think it's
because they're
4th of
afraid
July.
they're going to release one more trailer and really give us the whole
I
entire
think it's
movie.
4th of July. Although we did see a
When
Superman
is the 4th
trailer.
of July?
Thursday. Friday. I don't know. Listen, but that Superman trailer, I was like, oh, I didn't
They
like
did show a
seeing
lot.
that.
Yeah, I have voiced my complaints to the trailers on this very podcast. Before.
We'll get around to it to Jurassic World as well when we go and watch.
I don't know why we need to go. I just saw another trailer,
Dude.
a new trailer, all new information.
Yeah,
that I
but
have not seen.
Maybe there's something they didn't show us.
Yeah, what are they? What
Maybe
save
there's
something for the movie?
Huge. they're saving.
Like I said, there's probably been 5 different trailers. Each trailer's like 3 or 4 minutes long. That's like I've seen 20 minutes of the movie. If I took those trailers, if I really had nothing else to do with my life, and took those trailers and figured out the order, or not even figured out the order, made up my own order, I would have a 20-minute movie that basically is the whole movie. I can tell you what happens.
And yet we'll be there, seated Wednesday.
I'm just not enthused about it. I don't know if I've seen the last 2 Jurassic Parks.
You've seen them.
No, I haven't.
This
I
is
have
a
not
new era.
I understand
This
that.
is
but
a
the
new
reason
era of
I haven't
Jurassic
seen them
Park.
is because you just keep showing me that, first of all, it's the same story. Every freaking time.
Yeah, they're running
How many
out of
times we got to
islands.
go back to this island?
Well, it's a different island.
Oh,
I'll
it's
say
a
that.
different
Too.
island.
I'll say that too.
How many
islands
are
did
there?
this guy buy? This is the
Yeah,
3rd one.
That's true too. Yeah. How many tropical islands can a guy afford?
And he puts dinosaurs on all of them.
And no, this
Make
isn't
a vacation
This isn't
house.
stretching your bank account at all.
They spare no expense. They spare no expense.
Exactly. So apparently, the guy's got more money than Elon Musk.
He spared no expense.
Yeah, I just don't even. I mean, come on.
We'll see it.
First Jurassic Park, great movie. Second one, what happened? Was that the girl that was swinging on the gymnastic bars and kicked one? That was generic.
Yeah.
I think the third one was better, right?
3rd one I never liked as a kid because the T-Rex dies in it. Gets killed by the Spinosaurus. So that was it.
Oh,
I was out of there.
That's ridiculous.
I saw that and I was like, this
So
is
what's the
disgusting.
4th one? Was that the newer one?
Jurassic World. Yeah,
That's the
that
newer
was the
ones.
one where they had the park was fully operational, and then the Dominus Rex got out.
Yeah.
That one was sweet though. That one was
Yeah,
good.
that was a good one.
Because they had that was cool. Because they had the Mosasaurus in there. That's the swimming one.
Mosasaurus.
That's a big like shark one. That was the first time they had that.
Oh, we're gonna have more of those in this movie. As they're trying to leave the island.
And then the second one to that was in that manner.
And that was cool because
The little girl was a clone.
was a clone, which made sense for all of this experimentation.
And then you open
Why
it up to
wouldn't you?
dinosaur human mutants. Could you imagine that?
They
That's where they
opened
should
it
have
up,
went.
but then they didn't do nothing with it, right?
Yeah.
Did they even do anything with the girl clone? Because I did not see the next 2
No,
movies.
she just lived a normal life.
Stupid.
Good for
See,
her.
you open the door
She
on a great
adapted.
idea.
What would be a great idea is if this next one, if it wasn't, modern day, we're going back to the island, if it was mutant human dinosaurs had overtaken the world, okay?
Yeah, Planet of the Apes variation.
Planet of the Apes. Human is a dying species. Your main character rides
Human
around.
dinosaur.
Your main character rides around
Lizard
on a
man.
Triceratops. He's like a Han Solo cowboy type, so he has like an old 6-shooter.
You-
Riding on a Triceratops.
Let's go there. Let's go there.
He's hunting and like some of
that
that.
got the shotgun like on a,
Oh!
on a Triceratops.
And like it opens up, he's riding a Triceratops hunting cattle that have also intermingled with.
Other species.
What is that? The duckbill ones, you know
Yeah,
what I'm talking about?
duckbill.
A T-Rex comes out, so we gotta fight a T-Rex with his pet Triceratops. And you're like, what is going on here?
Yeah, that's what we want to see.
Mutant dinosaurs.
Mutant
human dinosaurs. Oh, could you imagine?
lizard people.
I think even the opening could have been like, here we made this vaccine. Everybody's taking it to cure cancer. They're going back for the boosters and whatnot. It's like it turns into a body horror. The one guy, he's like, oh, freaking out. His spine does that weird thing where his teeth are growing extra long. He comes out, and then it cuts. 300 years later, man is a dying species, and it opens up Han Solo character riding on Triceratops fighting a T-Rex.
That'd be something, folks.
New
If
theory.
you know anybody in Hollywood, feel free to forward that on.
And then
Powers.
the title card could be, instead of Jurassic World, it gets clawed out, Cretaceous World. They go into a new era.
That's what they need to do. They need to go into a new era. You just keep going back to that. Why wouldn't we go back to that island?
Well, the cure for
It's
cancer.
like the Predator movies. Why would the Predators go back to Earth? You die every time. No Predator has ever returned from Earth alive. Jurassic World. Why would you? Okay, there's dinosaurs there. We get it. What are we gonna do? A secret mission? Go there.
We're gonna find out Wednesday. The two of us will find out Wednesday.
And we'll let you know. And I am telling you, I'm going in with
I'm
low
pumped.
expectations.
I love dinosaurs.
I have seen the whole movie.
I love dinosaurs.
Who doesn't love dinosaurs?
That's why I'm going.
All right.
Dinosaurs, T-Rex, mutated T-Rex. You sold me.
We've seen the movie 5 times already.
And I'll see you at 6. I'll see you at 6 on Wednesday.
All right. Well, there you have it. So there's our movie bro take on F1. I thought it was a great movie.
Great movie, great film.
Sports movie.
Go see it
I like
on the
Brad
big
Pitt.
screen. Oh yeah, he's really found his mojo too. I think he's done actually, like taking roles to be a weirdo and really go out there. I think he's just now like, this is my character, just the old cowboy, rugged. I will knock your teeth out type of guy.
Knock your teeth out.
That's where he settled into.
Yeah.
And good for him.
Good for him. Yeah, I'd be Brad Pitt if I could too.
Yeah.
If it can't be Batman, be Brad Pitt.
And then make fit F1 Thunder.
There you go.
I'll say that I don't like the name of the movie. I get it, F1. But when you have a
Which one
title
do you-
like Days of Thunder, that title's cool, man. The title got some gription to it. This should have been like something else. Road of Lightning. Woo, you're welcome. You're welcome, John, whatever your name is.
All right, I'm gonna save you people from watching any more of this.
Road of Lightning, Days of Thunder, Roads of Lightning. The third one is just The Storm. The Storm of Daytona. Daytona. The Daytona Hurricane.
Just be the
Tornado.
hurricane. Just be the hurricane.
It'd be Twister.
There's a tornado in there too.
No, it's just Twister. Like Twister.
I know.
Glenn Powell's in it. Because he was in Twisters. And he's like standing in the middle because the cars are going so fast around a circle.
What is this, Wile E. Coyote? The
He's
Roadrunner?
like, oh my gosh, it's gonna form a tornado.
They got their jalopy truck with other equipment trying to see.
He's in the race. It's a free-for-all. It's like a Mad Max race. You gotta build your own car out of a junk pile of parts and race it against the tornado.
This is why he has not gotten his break yet.
Days of Thunder, Road of Lightning, Twister.
Part 2.
Part 3. Because there's Twister, Twisters, Twisted. And then the E and Ed is 3.
Oh man.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Hollywood.
We're getting banned from YouTube for bad ideas. This is terrible.
Mad Max could show up in the race.
That'd be sweet if Mel Gibson showed up as Mad Max in a cameo that they didn't even say who. You just knew
Oh,
it was
he
Mad
could have been the
Max.
final guy, the Red Bull guy.
He's too old. Plus, he looks
Well, no,
crazy,
he's just
man.
wearing the mask.
He looks crazy.
I haven't seen him of late.
He got a big old beard. I mean, when he did, I think he shaves for when he gets a role. But he has like a big old shaggy beard.
I wonder who you could have got to secretly be the final.
Why would he be under a helmet? You can pretend it's anybody if that's what you want to do.
Well, you can do anything with it. I'm saying if they had like the horns.
They're not gonna have a horns. Why would they do that?
Because
It's unrealistic.
What are you talking about? The guy caught on fire in this movie and walked out with nothing but burned hands. You get burned hands from cooking eggs in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, you light me on fire, I'm not walking out of there. Be charred. Charred and dead. And we're worried about the horns on the helmet?
Yeah.
That's all we got for
That's
this.
obvious.
This might have been cut.
10 minutes ago is all we had. This thing is still going on for some reason. I don't know why.
A fresh flow of ideas.
Yeah, well, apparently we got to go watch Jurassic Park. So later this week there could be another one. Watch our Instagram and our Facebook. We'll have our little guys coming soon. And until then, like, follow, share, subscribe, help us out, throw us a bone, click that button, do something, keep us in business for another week. Thanks for watching, and see you later in the week. Next time.
Next week. No, this week. Later.